Welcome back to Star Wars Total Rewatch, where we're totally rewatching Star Wars, and we're picking up right where we left off with the 2D Clone Wars series, Season 3. Here we go.
Volume 2, if there's any confusion.
Yes.
Yeah, not confusing at all.
Let's just make even more confusion.
Isn't it Volume 3? Or no, Volume 3, Volume 2, which is Season 3. So.
Volume 2 is Season 3.
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
Is that confusing?
But this was made much later.
Oh, yeah.
There was like a year in between these, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was like 6 months between the first two, and then about a year until the third.
The animation looks slightly different.
And they're longer. There's only really 5 episodes.
Yeah, they're almost full-length episodes, yeah. 15, I think. But of course, cool ARC troopers are back, making a daring rescue of the Jedi that were being hunted down by Grievous.
Yeah, I like that. Sometimes there's like a character that's very far away and they're drawn like a little blob. It's just so fun. You see the clones in the, what are those ships called?
The LA-8
clone drop ships.
Yeah, the drop ships, yeah.
It's a gunship is what you're looking
Gunship.
for.
Oh. But yeah, the clones are like these little stick figures, basically. It's funny. But this ship, I remember seeing Legos of this.
Oh, with the like...
Pretty sure
cool.
it has like a painted mouth on the front.
It feels like one of those World War II bombers where they would draw like a face on the front.
Totally. Just the idea of painted gunships.
Custom painted gunships.
Right. Feels very military,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is a fun kind of side of Star Wars. I guess we see like the Empire, which is more of a
Authoritarian,
military, where the clones are like American military kind of, or Australian military, actually, I should say. Right.
Judging by their accents, you mean?
Yeah.
New Zealand.
Oh, is he New Zealand? My bad.
Original actor is.
Kiwi.
Yeah, so a nice rescue operation.
They basically just come in and rescue them, and it's like there's a whole bunch of talking.
Successfully rescue the Jedi who are still alive.
Yep.
Which isn't very many. Grievous took out most of them.
Like 6 of them originally, and they rescued 3.
Okay, that's half.
Yeah, that's not
Who's
too
left?
bad.
Ki-Adi-Mundi's still around, and then
The ones with names.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Shakti
Ayla Secure.
and Ayla Secura. And Grievous collects the lightsabers of the dead ones.
It's just so cool.
So this is this flashback to Qui-Gon.
well, I don't know what this is.
Yeah,
Is it a flashback? They're on Dagobah in front of that weird tree.
Well, right. It's a little bit weird.
It's Qui-Gon Jinn and little Annie
Yeah,
Skywalker.
it's not really a flashback. It's more of a premonition. No, it's not even a premonition. Like a vision of an
Vision?
alternate future.
Force vision, yeah.
It looks like it's something that, like a flashback, like Qui-Gon took him there.
Maybe that happened.
Do we see more of that? I think that's all
Yeah,
we
we just see one glimpse of it.
What he's telling Anakin something about facing yourself, right? And that comes up a few times in this
Yeah.
season.
It's like one of the trials that you have to pass before you become a Jedi Knight.
It's kind of off track, but when we covered The Empire Strikes Back, we didn't even really talk about that tree. There was just so much other stuff going on. But any thoughts about it? What is going on with that?
With what? The cave?
The Force virgins. Just that whole idea of the tree, where it's like strong in the Force somehow, and it shows you things.
And, well, again, I don't want to spoil things too much in the new Clone Wars, but
Oh yeah.
just you wait. There's another scene very similar to this.
Okay. Maybe we'll talk about it more then.
So that's like one of probably many places in the galaxy there's strong points in the Force.
Yeah, like Rey has something like that in The Last Jedi.
Yeah, there's a line maybe in this Jedi meeting, Yoda or one of them talks about testing the spirit, and one of the other Jedi says facing the mirror. And that made me think of Rey looking at herself in that mirror. It's like you're just confronting all the different parts of yourself, the good and the bad.
Yeah.
Something that Anakin doesn't really do very well.
Nope.
They're talking about making Anakin a Jedi Knight, and they're discussing he hasn't done all of our little tests that we make them do, and They're like, well, look at all the stuff he's been fighting. Like he's killed a Sith warrior and like did all this other stuff, and we need Jedi Knights. Is kind of what their argument is as well.
Right. They're a little bit desperate.
Obi-Wan says he's basically been facing the tests through all this other stuff
Right.
he's been doing.
But ability isn't really proof that you're a good Jedi.
No, well, they're also kind of just a lot of them are kind of like, we need to follow the book, and you know,
Right.
he didn't cross his I's and dot his T's.
That's right.
You know, I really liked that most or almost all the Jedi in their circle got to say something.
Yeah,
They got to contribute, because in the movie there's 2 or 3 of them talking, everyone else just sits there in the background.
right.
Kit Fisto does a smile.
Yeah,
Trademark smile.
classic.
And you're right about the beard guy.
I don't know. I just feel he
It's
just
so funny looking.
yeah. He just the rest of like these cool like different animal creatures, and he's just like, what? What is that? Like an owl, an actual owl, unlike Palpatine.
Right.
But then he's a snake. I don't know.
And they all have funny voices.
Anakin just walking the streets of Coruscant.
That was a really neat scene.
Yeah.
Anakin in this crowd on Coruscant, all these different creatures.
Kind of looks in a window and sees himself, and is like thinking about his decisions. I feel like I don't know. I just think it's a whole like, you know, he's a Jedi, but then he's going to meet Padme. You know, and then he's thinking about who am I? Kind of. That's what I think anyway.
Okay. Yeah, that could be. Say, look at the aliens that they're zooming in on different aliens at the beginning of that scene. What I read online is that one of them is a Duloc.
Like
That
What?
first
first one
furry
they
green
show.
one that you see with the earrings.
Oh, yep.
Okay.
Supposedly that's a Duloc that somehow
What's a
made its
Duloc?
way to Coruscant.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
poor
Isaac, you didn't see the Ewok
sweet summer
series.
child. You haven't seen Ewoks.
They live on Endor.
Okay.
It's like another tribe of aliens that's always fighting with the Ewoks.
They're pure comic relief.
Yes.
They're total jokes.
Supposedly there were a couple of random little nods to the old animation. The planet that Anakin's on later is called Nelvan, and that's named after the Nelvana animation company.
Oh wow. So C-3PO finds them hiding in an alley.
Oh, this is weird.
Very weird. He's got his new gold plating. They're like, wow, let's see it. See
Oh, it's so
3PO.
weird.
He's like, oh, I don't know. He's wearing like a cloak. Whoa, sexy. 3PO.
Exactly.
very
That was a really funny
strange.
scene.
You got like the saxophone music or something. Oh boy.
What?
Especially like a supposed kids cartoon. Like it's such a weird.
Right, like I guess it's just done as a joke, but it's very weird. Very, I don't know. I don't know.
Funny. I liked it. I liked how dumb it was.
But he's gold plated now instead of silver, so
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, Anakin becomes a knight.
Yep.
We see the knighting ceremony, which is very cool. I didn't know this was a thing.
And Anakin has a cheesy smile on his face,
But they do it like
like a knight.
Knighting?
medieval knights. Yeah.
Yeah.
Taps a lightsaber on each of his shoulders.
Ah!
Tries to singe it.
Just hope he doesn't
Close.
sneeze.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Cuts off the
That's-
Padawan braid. Yeah, and he gives the braid to Padme.
And she puts it in a box
Oh.
with his Japor snippet that he gave her.
How romantic.
Oh, and she gives him R2, I guess. Was it not his until now? She has a
She
little
did.
hologram.
Yeah.
And it's like, here, I give you a gift. This droid.
These two droids.
You're playing the wrong message.
R2 is definitely her droid all throughout
Oh,
the
yeah.
movies.
Oh, I don't know. He seems like he's,
He does whatever he wants.
yeah.
He's nobody.
But then R2 says in A New Hope, doesn't he say he belonged to...
Obi-
Obi-Wan.
No, he says he belonged to Obi-Wan.
That's just because he needs to say that.
Obi-Wan has R4.
Oh, man. Anakin and Padme are married during this. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Yep. That's why they both held their hands up to the window.
Right.
Is
That's
that what
how you
married
get
people
married.
do? I'll have to remember that.
Because episode 2, didn't he still have his ponytail when they got married?
Right.
And now he doesn't.
Yeah, that's
so...
what. Yeah, I mean it works. It all makes sense.
I forgot about that.
And then now it's like jumps way forward to right before the Revenge of the Sith.
Right, he's got episode 3
Anakin's got the
hair.
long hair on, and
Right.
now it's like right before that movie, basically.
Got that episode 3 hair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the same spaceship too.
Yeah, Jedi Starfighter.
When did he get that scar? Did he just show up with it in the third movie?
Yeah, I think it's just assumed.
It's kind of weird that they have scars with all these advanced technologies that can just heal everything. They could easily just get rid of that scar.
They throw in a little slimy but satisfying scene.
Right. And here we see Timon and Pumbaa eating bugs.
They're on like a siege on this planet and it's raining. And Anakin says, here, eat some bugs. They're nutritious.
They always do a good job of their characters, I think. I don't know if Anakin's quite that lighthearted still, but like it's kind of both funny. They're bantering.
Right. You kind of see their relationship.
And I enjoyed it in the new Clone Wars too, and like in the movies too.
They're on some planet on, I don't know, it's like a siege.
You see Commander Cody for a second.
Woo! My boy, Commander Cody.
But Anakin takes the initiative here and finds a sewer route into the city. Get a good, what an incredible smell you discovered reference.
Classic, yeah.
I kind of like that Anakin is just very resourceful and he's headstrong too, but like he's getting the job done, and I think that impresses a lot of people.
It's a lot of really short scenes where Anakin's just saving the day.
Yeah. He becomes like the hero of the Clone Wars.
Yep.
Bombad General. This guy. Little glimpse of Kashyyyk.
Oh yeah, that's
Is it
all
Chewie?
it was.
Certainly seems like
Really
it.
makes you think.
He's
of
got his
Chewie.
bowcaster. Because if it is Chewie, then that little kid next to
know.
him could be Lumpy.
That's what I was trying to think.
Oh no.
It's canon.
No way, is it actually?
Everything's canon. You also get a quick glimpse of some Max Rebo aliens.
Oh yeah, they're just kind of jumping around to different planets. None of this really tied together. It's just kind of showing.
It's just showing how the CIS is launching a bunch of massive assaults across many planets. We see this cool training session between Dooku and Grievous.
Yeah, and that's another thing. It's good to see this, where in episode 3, you just kind of meet Grievous out of the blue. They kind of talk about him like he's been trained by a Jedi, even though
Trained by Dooku.
He says he's been trained by Dooku in the movie.
yeah.
I've been trained in the Jedi arts.
Trained in the Jedi arts, yeah, which really just involves like lightsaber fighting techniques, which he's very good at.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's cool to see him sparring against Dooku here.
They also kind of build up how, I guess they kind of built him up a bit in the other one too, but how he's just such a great general. Not only is he a Jedi killer, but like he's single-handedly become a thorn in the Republic side because he's just winning battles from a strategic point of view.
From a certain point of view. Seeing Grievous a lot more in this, and Dooku and all of that, and especially in the later series, just the amount of time that you see them and they're the villains that you're always fighting makes it feel like a bigger deal when they both get killed in episode 3.
Yeah, instead of just kind of like, oh, and they're dead.
Yeah.
Right, these guys who we kind of have just been introduced to, and oh, now they're gone. I remember thinking that at least after watching the longer Clone Wars series, then seeing episode 3 again felt like, oh, we took out those guys that we've been trying to get all this time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and like at that point, it's like we won the war now, you know?
Right, it seems like it anyway.
I mean, they pretty much did. It just becomes the Empire.
Yep.
Right.
They didn't win. They definitely didn't win the war, but like, you know, at that point it was just kind of cleanup duty. I feel like.
Yeah, well, they won. They definitely won the war.
I guess technically.
Well, they killed all the Separatist leaders. Darth Vader did. He killed the leaders on Mustafar.
You're right.
We spend a lot of time on this planet Nelvon.
Yeah, so there's really like 2 storylines that play out from this point. This is Nelvon.
Yeah, this snow forest place.
Yeah, and it's like Anakin doing his trial, basically, with some tribal people. Interesting. It doesn't really have anything to do with Clone Wars. I guess it does. There's like some of the separatist people are involved.
The Techno Union.
Is that the Techno Union ship?
The Techno Union Army.
Yeah.
And then the other plot is Grievous is kidnapping Senator or Chancellor Palpatine on
Yep.
Coruscant. So I don't know if we want to talk about one of these at a time.
Yeah, one at a time. Anakin's crazy adventures on this planet, which went on a lot longer than I thought it would.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about this crazy adventure. It felt so weird, like a total change of pace from like what the rest of the show has been about. Very
I
different.
liked it.
Yeah, it like slows way down.
It kind of represents what the trials kind of making Anakin do is slow down.
Yeah, sure.
I don't remember what exactly they call that's part of the trial, but it's kind of like it's basically slowing down instead of just rushing into everything. And
Trial of the Spirit.
Yeah, right. This is the part where he's supposed to, I don't know, face himself.
Yeah, but yeah, apparently it was prophesied or something that he would come here. Like a lot of their warriors have been disappearing. This like cat species.
yeah, basically all of
They
them.
were saying it's the one like metal hand man is
Ghost
gonna
hand.
go
Right, which is Anakin because of his robot hand.
clearly Anakin. Funny idea.
Therefore, that means Anakin has to go save their people.
All by
So
himself.
that's where his journey begins.
Throw some leeches on him that paint some cool tribal tattoos
Yeah.
all over his face and chest.
Because why
That's a
not?
cool idea. Yeah, I don't know.
I think why not is the reason.
Then he goes on his journey on some weird-looking creature, and
Yeah, he just finds some weird experiments.
The Techno Union doing crazy experiments on people. Again, very similar to the later Clone Wars. You get some vision of what he will become.
Yeah. His cave paintings come to life. It just shows like a guy with like this super powerful hand, and he like is applauded by the rest of the people because of how strong he is. But then it ends up killing all of them, including the girl,
He loved, yes.
Padme or something, like symbolizing all this. And
yeah,
then
whether
it
he
transforms into a Darth Vader mask.
whether he interprets it as that, I doubt it. But like, it's basically saying what his future is gonna be.
Yeah, he's using his power first for good, and then it kind of just turns to killing stuff.
Yep.
Well, it gets out of control, out of his own control.
Exactly, it's just out of control. And he sees that in himself at the end, because he takes out the Techno Union leader, kills him. I don't think he would have had to do that, and he realizes that. But man, this part is weird.
This part is so weird.
I don't know. They've got like these alien warriors that they've been capturing, doing some kind of test on them, turning them into like big weird things.
Chonkin dudes, cyborg
Like,
things.
yeah, it's all kind of gross and kind
It
of.
is.
This is like the part that made me say I wouldn't show this to a kid. The rest of it's, I don't know. This just seemed a bit much to me.
Right.
It's a pretty nightmarishly horrific situation that happened here. It's like really terrible when you think about it.
Oh yeah, I know. But he manages to rescue these creatures.
Yeah, but then they have to like go back to their families and their
Kind of a sad
wives
reunion.
and children are like, what?
They don't recognize them at
Then
first,
they, I
but
guess, embrace them.
Well, no. The one of the kids says, "It's you. I know you." And so they are, they're welcomed back in, but they still just like look weird, and everyone just kind of, I guess, is okay with that. Which I
they
guess
kinda
you'd have to be.
Yeah. Still
Yeah.
them. Anakin's hand gets kind of blown off, his robot hand, while he's destroying some power source. And then all of these cyborg aliens see his hand missing, and they have like blaster arms, and they're like, oh yeah, let's rip off our own blaster hands too, just like him. It's very inspiring, apparently.
Well, and also they're like, we're not gonna be any part of what they tried to make us be, right? We're going back to ourselves.
I think it also kind of shows like so Anakin kind of goes crazy when he loses his hand in that thing, right? He's like really painful, kind of gets all angry and like kills all the Techno Union guys. To me, it seems like a little bit out of anger. It shows him standing above all the guys he rescued, and they all start like chanting. He's kind of, again, foreshadowing his future. Like he inspires people and leads them, but he does it in non-Jedi ways often.
And when he comes back brings them all back to their village, and he's talking to Obi-Wan, he's not happy. Like he should be happy because he saved all these people, but
Right.
he's kind of like, yeah, I saved them, but he knows he didn't really pass the test.
Yeah, I think so. He's kind of like when he killed Ventress. Like, that shouldn't be something you're super angry about, and he's just really angry at himself, really, I think, because of how he does it. He knows he continues to do things the wrong way, but he just can't help it.
It's actually pretty confusing to know like what they're trying to say here with all this. But
Mhm.
I like that it's kind of vague, and I also am just like very surprised that they were allowed to show something like this as far as like Anakin's journey and seeing a darker side to him and stuff. Because
We've
it's
seen the
like,
dark side of him anyway, so it's not like it's any foreign subject. Everyone knows
but
he's like,
watching like these kinds of things where you kind of come out of it and you're like, did he do the right thing or was it bad? And I think that he's kind of in that same position of like very unsure of where he's at because then
Mhm.
in episode 3 we just kind of see that tipping point, but it's good to see like
yep,
this. It helps a lot to see like the lead up to that.
yeah, it does. Because yeah, other than him killing the Sand People in episode 2, you don't really see it. It's like this nice, happy-go-lucky little kid all of a sudden just kill everything.
Yeah, it just becomes very, very abrupt.
Like Daniel said, tipping point. This whole era of the Clone Wars battling, fighting, just leads him up to that for sure.
It happens more gradually than it maybe seems from the movies. And Obi-Wan's given him some good advice too, right? Is this where he's telling him like, so you've seen stuff in yourself that you don't like? Well, that's fine. That's true for everybody. But the decisions you make are what shape that. And like as you go forward, you make
Yep.
better decisions. But Anakin kind of just isn't really, I don't know, like doesn't want to hear it or something, or he's just too, I don't know what.
Good
Other
advice.
point, I guess I'm gonna make off of that. I think some critical time of Anakin's development and Obi-Wan's teaching for him, all of a sudden they're just thrown into this big war and they can't really do it. You know what I mean? feel like that little scene right there where it's like Obi-Wan's trying to kind of help him and guide him a little bit. Obviously, he's already a Jedi Knight, whatever, but he's trying to guide him a little. Then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we need you to go fight more.
Yeah, interrupted.
And I feel like a lot of his training was during that. So he was just kind of forced into, all right, now you have to be a Jedi Knight and make all these decisions. And he was just kind of was not ready at all, obviously.
Yep.
So, yeah, last big storyline is, do you want to jump to that?
Mace Windu flying a droid ship.
Vulture droid.
Vulture droid.
Like a horse or something.
I don't
Like,
know.
right, riding on
Bucking
top of
Bronco.
it.
All around Coruscant.
Uh,
Pretty funny stuff. Mace Windu gets the most ridiculous scenes in this whole series.
right. Yeah, he
Hilarious.
does.
Yeah, he's just grabbing hold of some wires, controlling the thing.
Yep. And riding it like a Bronco.
Right. But yeah, the Separatists are attacking Coruscant, which is a surprise to them. Surprise to be sure. But a welcome one.
But a welcome one.
For the Chancellor, anyways.
Right.
Ah, for him it's a welcome one. Yeah. And not really a surprise. He's just like sitting up there
Yeah.
watching the show from his
Yeah,
window.
that was
Just kind of waiting around to get kidnapped.
that was kind of fun, I thought, to see.
Well, right. I mean, it was his order as Palpatine to
Yep.
have Grievous kidnap the Chancellor side of as Sidious. I should
There
say.
was kind of a fun scene where Grievous is like threatening Palpatine a little bit, and Palpatine kind of like, well, you can't do anything to me. Your master would not let that happen.
Does Grievous know? I don't
No.
think
Nope.
so.
He doesn't
yeah.
know.
There's something at the end where the two of them are just alone, and Grievous still does not seem to be in on the plan. He's just like, I'm taking you with me, Chancellor.
You're mine, old man.
I'm not afraid of you. You wouldn't dare harm the Supreme Chancellor of the Republic. Whatever would your masters say?
You are lucky they want you alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like that he kind of taunts him, knowing he told Grievous not to hurt him, hurt
And
himself.
Grievous couldn't hurt him anyway. 'cause
No,
this
but
is-
Grievous doesn't know that, so that's just kind of
They
funny.
think he's just some politician. What could he do? Gets Chancellor napped.
Yeah, we got an Ithorian Jedi as part of the rescue squad. And what's that? What's that guy with the little trumpet mouth? That alien. You just see him in a cantina, you know.
I love this. They're trying to get the elevator to go, and they're just like standing there for a long time, and so then
Classic
the Ithorian
gag.
just starts pushing the button really fast.
They pause for a bit, and then he's like, "Okay, let's keep pressing this elevator button. Hurry it up."
That'll make it come faster, right?
There's some great humor. But the Ithorian has like a bunch of gills on the side of his head,
So crazy.
and he's able to do like a force scream or something.
But they make it sound like only Ithorians can do it, so it's kind of
Sure.
like
Well, I mean, the force, or their species, you know, physicality kind of has an effect on how they use the force.
true. I mean, like per other things, force streams just like anyone can do force.
Sure, but his are really powerful.
Another level.
And you get Grievous running down along
Yeah.
the wall of
Yeah,
the building
that's
next
so
to their
funny.
elevator.
Running down the side of the building.
Then he shoots a rocket in the elevator at him through the glass.
Right. Like
What
right
in
in
the
front
world?
It's all so over the top.
But they go all over Coruscant.
of him. Yeah, they do. There's
It's
one
just-
crazy chase scene.
Yeah. Grievous is like trying to fight against the wind that the Ithorian creates with his force thing. He
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
like bundles up. Grievous like contracts his arms into this little capsule. I mean, it's so hard to explain. It's just so bizarre. Looks like a chicken. Man, they just there's so many like interesting ideas that they played with. Very creative stuff.
Then we get to see Grievous's guards.
Yeah. What are they called? I can't
Magna
remember.
Guards.
Magna Guards. Yeah, that's right. From Epic Duels. I should know.
Yeah.
Actually,
They were,
that's my
they were in
custom deck.
Battlefront 2 as well.
Are they? Yeah.
Pretty sure you can fight as them, can't you?
Yeah. You get the
They have
little
a
rocket
gun, though.
launcher. It's a little rocket pistol.
They don't have
their
their
staff,
staff.
so.
Gosh.
Just want to say, I love how like when the armies are fighting each other, there's just lasers everywhere.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if we're gonna go back to it or not, but we talked about people using their force powers more during battles, and Yoda is standing there throwing ships at each other. Do you remember that? He's like pulling them around and making them crash.
Yeah.
Why don't they do that more often?
Rey and Kylo faced off pulling a ship. That was kind of cool, I thought, in the newest.
That's right.
Yeah, we see just how powerful Yoda is.
He's picking up these huge.
Yeah, the big lander ships that we see in Episode 1 landing on Naboo, just actually crashing them together. This is Force Unleashed level stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he rides this horse thing all over. I don't know what that's about.
Yoda's mount. Yeah, I really don't know what that is. It's kind of hard to talk about all of this because it's all very visual
Yes.
and a lot of fighting scenes, and we could describe every single action scene, but it's probably better off just watching this. See it for yourself.
There's a neat scene like at a subway, right? They're fighting over these basically just subway trains.
Please insert 2 Republic credits.
As they're going through like the what is that, the turnstile?
Turnstile. Yeah.
Then they go into some kind of pod thing that's going to take them to like a hangar that they have a ship.
Like a escape bunker. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to evacuate the Chancellor. And Shock T stays behind to fight a whole bunch of Magna
A
Guards.
whole bunch of them.
Yeah. So we get to see an awesome fight scene
Yeah, that was crazy.
with her. And then she follows them.
Well, they retreat, and then she realized that something must have happened. They're pulling back.
Well, exactly. Like, we find out all along it was Grievous's plan to kind of trap them.
And I wonder how he knew exactly where they would go.
Right. He knows exactly where their escape route is.
They were doomed to fail, as we probably suspected. Well, we knew, because it's leading up to the beginning of the Sith, so we know he gets captured.
When Palpatine just falls back while he waits for Grievous to finish off these Jedi.
Falls back into the
His
shadows.
expression changes when he's in the
Yeah,
shadow.
it's kind of like the senator, and then all of a sudden gets to the shadows. It's like, yeah, this is my plan.
All part of
Yeah,
the plan.
something that we see in this is we see people actually like sort of throwing their lightsabers and having it cut stuff. 3, you don't really see that except for the video games.
Saber throw.
Yeah, it's like all over the place in video games, but never in,
You
movies.
spin it around and it comes back to you, right? Like a boomerang.
Man, can you imagine boomerang lightsaber?
Oh, yes, please.
That'll be the next thing.
This was pretty interesting. Mace shows up, and like Grievous has been talking normal this whole show and not coughing. And then Mace shows up and like crushes his spinal cord or something.
Yeah, because in episode 3 we Grievous has that cough. This is Grievous in his prime this whole time. But yeah, Mace Windu like crushes his torso armor.
I don't think they follow that in the Clone Wars. I feel like he's coughing the whole time, right?
Yeah,
But,
he is.
minor thing. And yeah, it leads into ends with Anakin and Obi-Wan flying to save Palpatine.
It's that same shot of here they're zooming out above the planet through all those spaceships fighting, and that's exactly where episode 3 starts, right? Zooming back in.
Yeah.
Very cool.
You could play those back to back.
The opening scene of episode 3, which we will watch for next time. Hey.
Yeah. Oh, definitely have to give this a yub. I don't know about you guys.
Oh yeah, I'd give it a yub for sure.
Is that some other alien language? I don't know what that word means.
Yub.
Yup. Thanks for listening, and we will be back with Star Wars Episode 3 very soon.
That'll be fun.
May the Force be with you.